Wakachinim, Abraham Cow, no Timuscadi.
It may be one will be to me, sorry, I no pass or quadman or crass or quadma, or pomfrey juma with me, Irani fee, quine, or copy will be fee. Aquada will be passo. At the honansa. I better walk quadman. O to me free honor or quadman or something, and then the fee quine or irano. Let me a do where you know I'd call the money fee where says you know oh to me prepared one dear fronem quire she free Jim one my bear man no money idea. Hey, won't to me, mamma, wouldn't you be war, wouldn't you be war, more a sort of 9 and I'm war. Wouldn't you be our 9 years? Monka, what the awesome. Hey, won't to me, mamma. And as soon him say, Mini Panorama on a whole weekend into when whom me and me were. First, it will be quite washing our tete. I fed your mobile kita suitcase. Of a Ghanaian army and yes, Pinker say. My in your spinters. Why in your spinters? Ghanaian army and spinters. Really?
Love our Friday nights on 97.3 City FM. Benjamin Nketia here, Sports Panorama. Show proudly brought to us by Betway, and I'll be telling you about all the good things Betway have for you. Yeah, lots of packages. This week on the show, I'm not sure if to be sad or to be disappointed, so I think I will do a mixture of both. We'll talk about the passing of Ghanaian boxer Ernest Akushe, aka Bahubali. We'll also talk about the CAF Interclub competitions, because Bibiani Gold Stars and Asante Kotoko are in action this weekend. Desmond Ofe has been moved to become Black Meteor's head coach. There's match week 6 in the English Premier League. And then, of course, the City Business Olympics happening at the Eden Heights Sports Complex tomorrow, right from 8 a.m. Companies competing for bragging rights and trophies. GCB still the titans of the competition. We'll get into that in a bit. But Betway say that they are giving you a lot more back with Betway rewards. Now, whenever you bet on sports or casino, you will earn points that can be converted into cash. It's really that easy. Now, the best part is you can convert whenever you want, and you can withdraw the funds or use them to place new bets. No strings attached. So start enjoying a whole new way to get rewarded with Betway, only on betway.com.gh. The crew is in the studio. Shiny Brother 1 and 2, Gabby Affair, Yari Jamie in the studio, Bernardo Bilquatre, and Coach Christopher Nimley are in the house. Phone lines are active, or text lines are active, 0549 986 996. 0549 986 996. Do drop us a message and we will try to read your message as the show goes along. Also, you can check us out on City Sports GH. We are live on YouTube at City Sports GH. Big shout outs to all of you out there. Just hit the like and subscribe button and let's get talking. So, first on the agenda today is boxing, and typically boxing is mostly an auxiliary or supporting leg of the show, but 2 deaths in 6 months should let anybody sit up. 2 passings in 6 months should let anybody sit up. Now let me give you a little background to this discussion if you are just joining, and then we will build the conversation from there. So basically, no more heat here. Like, have you forgotten that you have? You see, Rabbi, you must pray for Ghana boxing. Typically, your prayers are for Ghana football. But I have always said that the people that don't have the spotlight on them have more rot going on than probably the people we are always focusing on. You must commit them into God's hands.
Look, if you are Ghanaian, and you don't see what some of us see when it comes to our sports in general, then you are more or less, I wouldn't use the word blind, I would say maybe a living dead. Because it is so obvious and so clear that unless Jehovah Zebaoth steps into these places and reset, turn it around 360, we should forget about it. When a soa nima soa nama soa, why are we mo shwaka yowa ogbele ache o manche yele aba? Jehovah Zebaoth joma wo hey no ba wo ba. Ghana 4. Come on, 1-4 year no fear no me. We're boxing agbeme. Actually, left, right, center. I can reset it. Mokotumo aite powers. Enye dumo se ka reset ye eketuni. Hey. Aite powers se mini ka won te share 4 here ka ya when allow 4 here ka ba chikon. Nya bi ale. Yo wa ka wo bi aite powers be ka na china ka. Ka le be no box here. Na ka no le han shikon me na shikon me na AAJ. Wo be no kono ba kele. She knew of fa ke ye yo wa Zebaoth be me. Wo ba reset boxing, wo ba reset boxing. She nketi anoko country no. No country no wa na sakama sole ye.
Find a solid mo.
Won go hey. Nketa ochi no tane. Ni shi ni tane. Wo fe wa shi no ta. Ghana nyo fe Ghana nyo efe no ya sako ko te shi lebi manken chane lebi gbeke. Manken o sole no pa yo wa fa ke yo wa. Jomo mane mo fia mo ne fia galam say. Jomo mane na me pa. Shiko. Me. She need touching as a chemist. Inketia, look, I spoke to my former lecturer. Yo Zebaoth, Jomo, Professor Suma, if any yo.
Jomo,
Abe, any Suma.
Professor Suman,
Yes, Ebe, UCC.
Ebe, had prof.
Me share any documentary be you. Inketia. As we speak today in Ghana, if God does not intervene, my life is in danger, your life is in danger, our lives are in danger. And I'm telling you, all the farm products that are being sold in this, you cannot trust any of them. Because the degree of metallic infection in them.
Metallic.
Metallic
Boss.
infection.
Look. In real who denche.
Oh, in real.
What Benukuno back politicians. wo benu ko no ba ka wo mancheme she won panify ye Yesu ba mi won panify ye yo wa zeba ba mi nye pa galamse chi agbene nyengbewo nye pa wo gbe ni Ghana akọ atale ni sale ni iwe don she omoni oba hani mimbi inketia bi wo fen wo bi wo se ame afia me wo shibo han yo wa kawo no ko fen mo galamse yo wa se ba chom yo wa ta wo manchema tuye ta wo man here no the president of the republic ta tuye na me sa galamse a ka me sa galamse inketia wo ba gbo twa ye Yesu gba mi amen.
Welcome to the show. Let me start off, like I said, on a boxing note. I'm sure a lot of you have been trying to follow the story, but I'll try and summarize it as much as I can, and then we'll get to the fallout of all of what is happening. So basically, like I said, on the 12th of September, there was a bout fought between Ernest Akushe, known as Bahubali. Bahubali fights in the super middleweight class, and he was up against Jacob Dixon of the cruiserweight class.
Not Dickinson, but
No,
Dixon.
Dixon.
That's two-way classes difference. Yeah, that's
Yep,
two-way class.
yep.
So from middleweight, from super
middleweight,
middleweight,
yep.
you go to light heavyweight. Then
Then
after light heavyweight, you go to cruiserweight. Then beyond cruiserweight, you go to heavyweight.
Heavyweight, yep.
So he stepped up two-way classes.
Now, on on the 23rd of September, Ernest Akushe was reported dead after this particular boxing bout. Let me speak to you a little bit about what went on in between that time. So, from all the interviews we've conducted, all the reports we've done, after the event, in fact, the event basically didn't end. And you know how main events typically are. Ernest Akushe left the Bukom boxing arena complaining about feeling unwell. According to the promoter of the bout, who I listened to on a different platform, Akushe was vomiting a few hours after the bout. And so his coach and a few people who are close to him rushed him to, I believe, the Seaside View Hospital.
Yep.
This is, I think, in the Manchagbona
Yep.
enclave. Good. Now, apparently he was given drip for a couple of days. He was taken care of, and then he was later discharged. He started complaining about pains. A few days later, and he was re-rushed this time to the Lekma Hospital. Now, Lekma is where Bahubali passed away. That's where he passed away. Now, let's do something, right? Let's quickly do something, because Bahubali is not the first boxer to have died in Ghana in recent times. In fact, he's the second boxer to have died in the last 6 months. The first guy to die was Nigerian by name Gabriel Oluwa Olarenwaju. Good. Now, after Olarenwaju's death, there was a lot of chaos about what had happened, who had neglected their role, who hadn't done what. And so, to bring sanity to the matter, the sports ministry, led by Minister Kofi Adams, commissioned the Amakai Amatefio report, 8th April 2025. The report was submitted on the 16th of May 2025. 8th April commissioned, 16th May 2025 submitted. Now let me read a publication for you from graphic.com from the 19th of May, 2 days after the report was submitted. Sports Minister Kofi Idi Adams says the ministry will act. No, the headline is, "We will implement recommendations. Sports Minister assures committee that investigated boxer's death." Now it's a picture of Amaka Amatefio shaking hands with Kofi Adams captured by the cameras. Presidential seal on the photograph. The first paragraph or the lead basically says Kofi Adams says the ministry will act on recommendations of the 100-page report of the 7-member committee set up to probe the tragic death of Nigerian boxer Gabriel Olarenwaju, who collapsed during a fight at the boxing arena. The report was submitted last Friday, like I said. Now, the report had very prominent, or the committee had very prominent figures on it. Very knowledgeable boxing heads on there, i.e. Amaka Amatefio himself,
Peter
a former
Zoenes,
minister, Peter Zoenes,
former GBA president,
Eko Asma,
yes, Battles,
long-time manager of Ikote, and a boxing veteran journalist, Sami Battles, was in there. So this was a very thorough job done. 100 pages. I have seen the reports. Now, I won't even go into the technicalities of the reports, but the main thing that bothers me is that the very first recommendation of the report was ignored. And if that recommendation had been adhered to, I would probably have been talking about BBNE Gold Stars right now. I would not,
and Desmond Ofe.
I would not have been having a boxing conversation now. Now, what did the recommendation say? The recommendation basically said, Coach, I won't even go to the complications. I'll just summarize it for you. It said that all boxing activities in the country needed to be suspended, and that the license under which the Ghana Boxing Authority were operating was to be withheld by the NSA, and then the body was to be refreshed, like as in, let's clean house, fix the mess that has been done, and then we will constitute election, or we will have election in the next 6 months. So, i.e., if you are following the timelines of when the report was submitted, boxing is supposed to have returned somewhere in November. But you and I know that boxing bouts have been happening.
Yeah.
Now, from the findings we've done, basically, it was made to look like Mr. Nikwe, who used to be the GBA boss, was the one leading the rot. Remember that he resigned in the wake of the report.
Yeah, held a press conference to
Good.
it.
He resigned before, and then his deputy Roger Bano took over. But remember that the committee's report said that the current composition of the GBA as it stood
Dissolved.
was not fit for purpose.
The license, no.
So the license was supposed to be withheld. It was supposed to be dissolved, and then an interim committee, to make it simple for you, what happens in football, a normalization committee was supposed to have been instituted to guide boxing until the next election would be held. Now the GBA as well, or the NSA, so basically the NSA is taking over the GBA's responsibilities. They were also supposed to write to all the affiliated bodies of the GBA, telling them that normalization is happening, and so for everything that you need to do, you need to run through us, i.e. the GBA has no gravitas to organize, promote, and administer boxing activities in the country. That didn't happen. What happened is that the NSA granted an interim boxing board, a 1-month extension instead of dissolving the GBA. They granted a GBA board a month's extension, or a board made up of people who were still in Nikwe's administration, a 1-month extension to continue running activities. That is what happened. One of the key recommendations was also that a medical commission was supposed to be set up. And this was not even solely for boxing. It was supposed to be for all athletic federations in the country, to make sure that medical procedure had been adhered to. Now, if you look at this Bahubali fight, right, I think it is as a result of, one, the street and loose manner in which boxing has been organized, promoted, and marketed in this country. Why am I saying this, Coach? What happens in this country is that when matchmakers want to make bouts, right, they don't consider a lot of things. The main thing for them is 1, money to be made, and 2, hype involved. Coach is popular in the neighborhood. Yao is essentially popular in the neighborhood, or is considered perhaps the strongest guy in the neighborhood. Okay, Coach Banya Yao. Yao ke coach nye yile.
Ajewani.
Wono.
7 taflache. Bula wani.
Let's go and fight. And that's how these things are done. Now, first of all, I'm disappointed in the NSA and to an extension the ministry, because Coach Olaren Waju passed away in February. Charlie. He passed away in February. The report, like I said, was submitted on the 16th of May 2025. Boxing activities should not have happened in the country up until November. As you and I speak, Aite Powers, in all his powers, says that he is organizing a boxing bout tomorrow, and that he is daring the powers that be to stop him.
Who is Aite Powers?
Aite Powers, former boxer, now turned promoter. He says that he has organized his promotion already, so he is daring the powers and that be
invested millions
to stop him from hosting his promotion at the Emporium tomorrow. Now, Coach, I am very sad by Bahubali's passing. You know why? I'm sad because this is an avoidable death.
Of course.
This death,
of course.
This should not have happened.
Never.
Under no circumstance should this have happened.
Yeah.
Because first of all, Bahubali himself, right? Yeah. He fought in May against a guy called Jonathan Tete. Now, Jonathan and Bahubali are in the same weight class. But you see, international best practice teaches you that when you fight, you have a minimum of 5 to 6 months
to recover
and stay away before you get back into the bout. Exactly. Now, in the fights that happened against Jonathan Tete, he was really given a beating.
Yeah.
I.e. Ernest Akushe, Bahubali.
Yeah.
Now, Bahubali has just 8 professional bouts under his belt. He was really giving a beating in that bout. And that bout is what in Bukom terms they call Achiagbeshi.
Yeah, Achiagbeshi.
You know, fixed bouts. Dummy bouts.
Achiagbeshi.
This Dixon and Bahubali bout was another Achiagbeshi bout. Everybody could see it, including former IBF welterweight champion Joshua Clottey.
Yeah, he was there.
Now, he called it out. He says that, I watched the video, he says that he was at the Emporium to watch the fight, but there was unwarranted hostility towards him, to the point where somebody threw a stone into his Range Rover, and somebody also smashed the windscreen of his car, and he was expected to travel the next day. So the whole incident literally left a bad taste in his mouth, and he didn't watch the fight at all. He left and went home, so he couldn't even watch the bout. But he watched a video of the bout and immediately proceeded to give Bahubali advice. He said Bahubali, he told him, he was speaking Ga, but I'll translate. He says that, look, you are taking too much punishment in your fights, too many headshots that will not order well for you in the near future. It is either you change your fight style and technique, or you find a different profession.
Yeah, or you quit.
Bahubali died a day after that video dropped. He died 10 days after this Joshua Clottey video. 10 days after the Joshua Clottey video. Now, Coach, I've listened to a lot of people talk about the matter. The promoter of the bout, 1. The Ghana Boxing Authority, 2. And the NSA have also yesterday released a statement suspending all boxing activities in the country. Look, some of the things I have read and seen, I am incredibly saddened and I am scandalized. Listen, I listened to the GBA's media committee chairman, Andrew Norty. Now he says, and I quote, I paraphrase from Sporty, he spoke to Sporty, he says, boxing comes with hazards and things like these happen. And then you go back to the table to improve or enhance what you need to do. That is absolute nonsense. don't respect themselves.
Yes,
don't respect us either. Because boxers are supposed to go through mandatory pre-bout medicals, and they are supposed to go through mandatory post-bout medicals. Now, let me tell you. I'll let you have a say. Let me tell you one of the things that scandalized me the most. Now, when the how do you call it? The GBA, when the report, the American Amateur Field report was presented, one of the findings of the report was that a certain medical practitioner who was in there, I don't want to even mention his name, who had been serving the GBA as a medical practitioner, was still going through his training.
Yeah, he's not a certified.
He was not a certified
doctor.
Medical
He's
doctor.
Not gotten to the
he was not a certified doctor.
Now,
Now, in the wake of Nikwe stepping aside and the boxing fraternity expected to reconstitute a new body, this same guy was placed on the board that was, first of all, illegal to begin with, because the committee's report said that you should scrap the thing and then set up a normalization committee. That was not a normalization committee. That board had Roger Banner on it. Roger Banner was Nikwe's assistant. It had an aesthetist, who is the medical practitioner I'm talking about. Yeah. He was still on it. He was not qualified to be medically examining anybody. He was still there. So clearly they've already breached multiple recommendations.
But you see, just before you go, they are working free as we speak.
I'm sure they are listening.
And they are the point is that they are working free. Coach, in other jurisdiction, I know I'm a fair me. I can fair by me. Then I take your motion.
They were all on the board. What? So Nikwe left. Reset was supposed to happen, like you said, a reset, but the reset never happened. The GBA's license was supposed to be suspended, but it was never suspended. They had continued sanctioning bout after bout after bout after bout against the recommendations that they themselves did not have the gravitas sanctioning about. They were doing it to the point where they've given Aite Powers license to do his fight tomorrow, and then just 2 days before his fight, a release comes from the NSA that nobody can engage in boxing till further notice. Look, we need a public inquiry on this matter. You see the Olaren Waju report, they did close in camera interviews and investigations, and then the report, which was beautifully done, was compiled and put together. This one, we need a proper public inquiry on this matter. Do you know why? Because, like I said, the people who were supposed to have been swept aside for the boxing reset to have been done, they were not swept aside. They were just repackaged. They were simply repackaged and then given a new face and then handed back to us, and they continued business as usual. Because, coach, if you tell them today that they should bring you a report of Ernest Akushe's bout or post-bout against Jonathan Tete for May, it will become an Ansisem and stories today. I'm telling you. Because there's no way Ernest Akushe could have fought in May and could have been properly medically cleared to fight again in September. In fact, for my checks, this Bahubali bout was basically put together in a little over a month, maybe less, because the promoter says that this fight was a grudge fight. So there had been a lot of trash talking. There was traction from the community, and so they had to let it happen. Now, somebody has lost their father. Somebody has lost their brother. Bahubali is a twin. He's Oko.
Yeah, Oko.
He has lost. His family has lost him. He is a breadwinner for his family. He's no more. Apparently, Gabi visited the community a few days ago, and nobody,
yesterday,
absolutely nobody, is even shattered by it. Like, everybody's just going about their business, and this is why Aite Powers thinks that he can hold a bout tomorrow and nobody will hold him responsible. Coach, this is the crossroads we are now with our boxing.
You see, like you rightly said, I have followed the story since the day I heard the news. If you realize, there were pictures of the guy brutally whipped and beaten mercilessly. And I was asking myself, did this fight take place here in Ghana? And I called one or two people and I was told yes. I said, did we have a proper certified referee in the ring? And he allowed this level of beatings to take place?
Of course, you should understand, because when they stop the fight early, or in their language, or in quote, prematurely, it brings about chaos there.
No,
it has happened before.
No, but
where to save the boxer,
I understand.
The referee stopped the fight.
Yeah, I understand.
And they proceeded to rape.
They came after the referee.
Yeah,
and they came after the referee.
I understand. But as it stands, if the law were to take its course, the referee, anybody who got himself involved in this level of illegality, as we speak, if this was a proper country, no, Ghana, we cannot fear tremor. No, I tell powers me abu sa abu mo. If you like a car or gamma me, quite or like a gamma me in your hoy jame. Onupa nupa ya jame. Onupa nupa atosiam na mechijen na meti. When did you come? To have the guts, the audacity to defile orders from the authority of this country, speak your mind to anybody, daring people. Look, I listened to my brother, somebody who I have a lot of respect for. The truth be told, today, I listened to Honorable Amin Lamte on Sporty. I'm finding it extremely difficult to say I've lost some degree of respect for him, but that is the fact, so I will say it. Do you know what he said?
Please talk to us.
He said, "But the soul of the legendary Ghanaian musician rests in perfect peace." Daddy Lumba, one of my best ever when it comes to Ghanaian music. That is to me, he's the best ever. Now that he's no more, I prefer Kofi Kinata. That is me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Amin Lamte said that when Daddy Lumba died, did the government order musician to put their singing
on? My God.
I am quoting him verbatim.
I didn't just hear right.
I'm telling you, I'm quoting him verbatim. The voice is with our former colleague Nathan Kwa interview, and I was in. I said, "Look, no, what? You equate the death of an illegality to the legendary Ghanaian musician? No wonder boxing is the way it is today." My only advice to the minister, Honorable Kofi Idi Adams, no more. Honorable Kofi Idi Adams, no more. These are the issues you have to deal with him.
No,
anybody who defiled that orders, that these people should be swept aside. Anybody who shouldn't have been there, find himself there, had any hand whatsoever in this Achiagbe bout that has resulted in the death of a Ghanaian. I'm not going to ask you, in the death of a Ghanaian.
2 deaths in 6 months. Look, first a Nigerian and now a Ghanaian.
If the laws of this country does not deal with these people, then I don't think we have laws in this country. In Ketia, that is why Honorable Amin Lamte, Ayite Powers, the spokesperson of the one whose name you mentioned, they are going about spilling trash. Are you Bahat?
Complete hog.
Jomobemi. Are you Bahat? Kabeleda. Are you Keke? You have done an illegality resulting in the death of a Ghanaian. Instead of you to see the bigger picture, that look in 6 months, 2 boxers dead. In Kenya, if I was the one in charge, I was but what is going on? Sit back and say, but what is going on? What are we not doing right? Instead of them to admit that certain things are not going right.
The promoter of the bout was arguing that it is not the job of the promoters and even the GBA to do a mandatory post bout.
By now, the promoter Ayite Powers, all those who were involved in this illegality, all of them.
No, Powers, they don't. He hasn't. His own hasn't happened yet. If he tries it tomorrow, they need to pick him up.
But
the police have ordered.
They should have ordered him.
Yeah,
they should have picked him
They
up.
have invited him, eh?
Hold on with the way.
You go and pick him up. If you invite him, he walk to the place. This one, you go and pick him up.
Let him know that you mean business.
You mean business. But come in here. Oh, I'm sure Bobo. Come on, you just sample him in 24 hours. Oh, the board has been suspended. Everything I'm in accord. I've agreed to that. No, if you're not fine. You're rough, bad. Ni agbeme boy.
Egbebo.
No. You see, how did they clear this guy to fight when he had been beaten some 2-3 months ago?
Properly beaten.
I watched the fight you are talking about.
And then the Dixon fight.
Yes.
Anybody who watched the Dixon fight could tell that this was a mismatch.
It was a mismatch.
Like he was eating headshots for breakfast.
Professionally
eating
you
headshots.
say that because Ajewani, Sabita Fletcher, Ajebulawani, you are arguing senselessly.
Yeah.
Who is the stronger?
Yeah.
I'm stronger. You want to follow the rudiment of boxing, and you go and pair the two of them.
Yeah. Bahubali had to make a crazy jump
in weight
to get to cruiserweight to make this back.
He's never done that before.
Within 4 months.
Within 4 months, how is that possible?
No, it can't be 4 months because the bout was put together in like 1 month.
Okay.
Maybe a little over a month. So 5 weeks you're supposed to make a jump of almost 15 kg.
Recently, we had Terence Crawford fight against Saul Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. Crawford stepped up 3 weight classes. Do you know the last time Crawford fought before he fought Canelo? It was in 2024 against Israel Madrimov, and that was junior middleweight. So junior middleweight, then you go to middleweight, then you go to super middleweight. But he just can't do it over 19
in less than 6 weeks.
6 weeks. No,
look,
no.
In less than 6 weeks.
Kofi Idi Adam.
They should show us the medical report. Look, pre and post bout.
This one. People must go to jail. Yeah. If this is America or any proper jurisdiction, because
Olarenwaju was Nigerian,
yes,
it was easy to massage it, and then the situation went away.
You see,
6 months,
less than 6 months,
another person has died.
And this one guy is serious. So you shouldn't have done that. You've been told not to get involved. You've been told we are doing a reset. You've been told, all of you, get away from there. You are not qualified to be there. You better see that medical guy, the one who
he's called anesthetic.
Look, he must be dealt with merciless. Oh no, I wish. You see, these are the sort of things I wish I had control about. But
somebody put him there.
That's what I'm saying.
He was not fit for purpose when they said they should clean house, but they clean house and he found himself there again.
When I turn him outside down in an way into question, you point those who put him there. Come on, everybody move. In Lakabo, in yellow Jolly Joe, in an inquiry, a huge question. He should say what Jolly Joe. We cannot come and be sitting here and be talking about things that could have been prevented.
That's the thing.
We cannot be doing what is this?
So you know the funny thing, the irony of all of this is that instead of suspending the GBA's license right after they received the report, the NSA has now released a statement yesterday saying that they are commiserate to their family and that they want best practice to be adhered to. Mr. Ampofo Ankra.
No more. Look, truth be told, you are my boss. That you are sleeping on the job. Oh, make kind of say, make kind of saying, what that? He's sleeping on the job. If I finish the program, he'll call me and I'll tell him in his face. I'm not afraid. This is somebody has died, oh yeah. Somebody has
lost a brother, a father.
Somebody has died due to your negligence. This is what you call negligence. When the report came,
did you implement it?
Did you implement it?
To today, they haven't implemented one.
You are sleeping.
They implemented first part of the report yesterday.
You hear what Nketa said? That is the breadwinner of a family. If you had implemented the recommendations from the report, we won't be here. Why are we sitting here saying that this thing should have been dealt with? This thing could have been prevented. Look, it is time we look our leaders into the face with all humility and with all respect and tell it as it is. My boss, my brother, you've slept on the job. You've slept on the job. If the death of the Nigerian wasn't hard enough, this is now what? A Ghanaian.
Yep.
Is it now that you are going to implement what the recommendation said? Is it now you're going to implement it? Finish. If you cannot do the work, leave the place. It's not by force. It's not by force. It's not by force. That could have been anybody. That could have been anybody in Ketia. It could have been you. It could have been me.
Easily.
How? Do you think if Yahweh Franca, with all the authority he's got, if he had implemented it, would Aite Powers and Amin Lamte be equating? Would they have even gotten the chance to speak the way they are speaking?
I need the
I'm
family.
saddened, Charlie,
I need the family one and the state two to pursue this to its conclusion.
Look,
they must get an autopsy first of all,
and if it is proven, look, it is obvious he died from the beating. He died from the beating.
He had been taking headshots left, right, center.
Do you think Joshua Clottey,
first of all,
to the topmost level?
He was not feeling well. He was vomiting post-bout, and he was kept for 3 days
indoor,
discharged, and then, and in fact, you know the part that kills me. We spoke to the sister of the deceased. Now, do you know what he said? That's the part that even shows me that like everybody's doing what they like, and there's no professionalism. She said that in the wake of the bout, the guy just came home and came to sleep, and then somewhere a few hours after he had come to lie down, he was complaining about pains and not feeling too good and whatnot. And so they called his sister, who was smoking fish in the market, came and then took him to some pastor. Can you imagine? They took him to the first pastor, and the pastor prayed for him and whatever. The sister says that he was okay, and that the pastor even advised them to go to a medical doctor, a hospital. And the sister said, "You know what? We won't take him to a doctor or a medical facility just yet. We'll take him to another pastor at Tinungwa." Coach, if this is a professional industry, this is not going to happen. There should have been the first place.
The degree of beating.
The first place should have been to a hospital.
To the hospital.
When he finished the bout, that's the first place he should have gone.
Straight to the hospital. He stays there until medically he's okay before he leaves.
I'm so sad.
Look,
I'm so sad.
For me, I'm hurt like every other Ghanaian. But for me, I don't blame anybody. It's the NSA I blame. Because from what you have read, if they had implemented the recommendation to the fullest, we won't be talking about this.
Coach, the full one put there, you can't even do it right now. The first thing you need to do, like they said, suspend the GBA's license.
Simple.
Start, and then you constitute a normalization body to draw up a roadmap for elections.
Did they do that? Oh, please. No more hour.
Let me talk to Gabby, because Gabby's
point. I have a few things to say though.
Finish and then let me come to
because of Yahweh Franca. I know how diligent a person he is when it comes to these things. But you call a spade. My brother, my boss, my whatever. And Nukwale. You people have goofed. You've goofed big time. So immediately, it is better late than never. Immediately, fix the matter. Honorable Kofi Idi Adams. The will be a 4,000 here. Actually, no. I've heard them speaking. You see, they've been speaking to justify. Look, slash the money, Honorable Kofi Adams.
Yeah, that one they're true.
On their sentiment, can you be? I mean, yeah, for $4,000 for no work. Slash the money.
How did you pass that?
No,
you had to chip in.
How did you slide tackle?
See, Ben, just a quick on that point.
Please.
I think it's very important he makes that point. You know, up to now, and this is just to slightly digress.
They've started speaking.
We've heard nothing about
our athletes.
Who
went to Tokyo
till now? Nothing from the Ministry of Sports. Nothing.
As we speak, 3 weeks from now, the Black Stars are coming. The Cones man, the Brips man, $4,000 per match. What is that? Charlie, won't show you my name. We are joking.
Our people finished 4th at the World Championship.
What 4th?
4x100 men's relay.
The little girl went all the way to the final.
4th.
We are sleeping. Business as usual. Nothing.
The Black Stars didn't even qualify to the AFCON. But look at all the money that we spent on them. I leave it there.
Gavi.
Ben, I think you and Coach have highlighted a lot of the points. I just want to pick it from what I monitored or what I saw when I
on the ground.
Yes, a visit at the family house.
Where is this? Choco,
yes. Okay. So I think from Jamestown to Choco is not too far.
Yeah.
Very close proximity. So I was just paying particular attention to the locals in that space. And I think everybody around this table knows that enclave has produced a lot of boxers. Yeah. Be professional, unprofessional.
Talk of the 90s, people are not dying from boxing. In the why we dying
when technology has advanced.
Talk of the unprofessional bit, right? It is something I realized there that a lot of these youngins in that Choco enclave, in fact, maybe in the last few years, these people have sort of seen the sport as a pathway to success, all right, of making money. Talking about the boxers themselves and the promoters themselves, right? I got information that the deceased is somebody who is deeply loved in that enclave because he's got attraction. He's a very good trash talker. He's got people backing him, but the guy is not a pro. Let me take you back a few years under Abraham Niko's administration. He told Bahubali that he's supposed to stop boxing, and if he wants to continue in this professional space, there's a lot of things he's supposed to do. All right, Ben. And do you know that the entourage of the deceased actually came attacking the then president? That's Ibrahim Nikwe. And it's a thing that actually happens in the Choco enclave. When you go there, in fact, you have people in some sections, when they realize that you are trying to straighten them or you are trying to make sure that they go by the rules, be professional, then you turn the enemy. All right? And that's what Abraham Nikwe has gone through. I'm not saying that
he's blameless.
Yeah. But he's also had a fair share of these attacks. Joshua Clottey is another. These things happen over and over, and there's nothing that has stopped them. Look, I tell you what, if not for the loss of Bahubali, that recommendations from the 7-man boxing committee would have been swept under the radar, under the carpet with a big broom.
So people are sleeping on the job
because it's not in this same year in June that we had the boxing at the Bukom Boxing Arena.
Yeah,
and it was still ongoing up until Bahubali's death.
I said if Bahubali hadn't died,
it was
like
ongoing.
There will be no suspension. Like Aite Powers will be in all his glory, hold his promotion tomorrow.
I was telling Bernard that from now till tomorrow, it's a very, very crucial time for the National Sports Authority, the Ministry of Sports and Recreation, to see, or everybody's looking at what would happen from now to tomorrow. Yahoo has mentioned that the police have warned them to stop the weigh-in session ahead of the bout tomorrow. And as for Aite Powers, I don't blame him because he's been enabled. All right, he's been enabled. You should see that video with his entourage. And I saw another gentleman talking. I think that's his publicist, explaining that in this same year, Japan went through a similar situation.
Yes, I remember. A Japanese boxer died.
Yes, I think we did that story. And I asked myself this question: that how are you even comparing Japan, what they've done in their country, to what we are doing here? In fact, when I followed up on that story, do you know what Japan did? They had people arrested, heads rolled. I'm telling you what,
Japan, they be serious country.
Before they proceeded, he cited another example with the UK. You want to compare what you are doing here with the UK? Do you know that since
Anthony Joshua is in Dubai, the UK anti-doping agency went to test him?
Yes, Ben. Do you know that since
he was at the restaurant in Dubai?
Since 2021, the GBA have been working with no certified physician.
Yep. In fact, let me read a message here
That's
to buttress.
what has been going
Let
on.
me read a message here to buttress your point. I will not use the name, but the person is a very experienced person in the boxing fraternity. He says, "Good evening, Ben. Grudge fights are part of boxing. Canelo Bud is a typical example. Henny Tank might happen as a grudge fight. The problem is that boxing in Ghana has been an issue or has been in decline since a certain president. I'm not mentioning the name just for for our purposes. He says that a certain administration, he calls it this past administration, the Nikwe administration, worsened the tenure. All experienced physicians resigned for a reason. This is literally what he's telling me. That because of some of the shenanigans of the past administration, all experienced physicians resigned. He says that the Nigerian boxer died when there was no doctor at the ringside against professional boxing protocol.
And this so-called
Bahubali should have never fought this year because of his weight category. This death could have been avoided.
Yeah, so
But just to finish up,
I just went out. You see, somebody just sent me a voice. If I play the voice, everybody should be arrested. You see, I went out to listen to the voice. Everybody involved in this should be arrested. And according to Big Man Pao, he said when he goes to watch some of these bouts, is it the same? But this Achagbe Chimba that we are talking about, after the fight, the boxers who have just fought and they've been beaten. You see the chairs that they put around the ringside. It is these same boxers who go and carry these chairs on their heads to pack them. When they actually mean 3,000
you see, and these things, I'll let Gabi finish his point. But you see, these things, when they tell you, you think that it is some myth or some folk tale.
It is the actual
Coach,
truth.
I have been ringside of a famous boxing bout. I will withhold the name for today. It was the boxer's debut bout. And I heard after the bout, the Atiagbeshi, the person, the dummy fighter who was brought in, was basically telling the people that the money that we agreed on to throw this fight,
Rich,
you have not given me my money, so cough up the rest of the money. And then we're telling him that, boss, you didn't even hold up your end of the bargain well.
Because the round you
were supposed to have you were there showing your karate powers. Now, a very learned colleague of mine again has also sent me something. Gabi, I'll let you land on this. Today we are going out to 9 p.m.
Yes,
nice one.
So let me just read something that I have just been sent the fight record of Ernest Akushe.
Yeah.
Coach Atiagbeshi son.
Look at 8 fights.
8 bouts. Now look at the bouts. Now check the fight records. John Dugu, 5 wins, 27 losses. Kwesi Tutu, 12 wins, 49 losses. Hold on. Zakaria Salifu, 4 wins, 34 losses. How can you tell me this story?
Easy. So Ben, you see, you made a point. You made a point about the money bids, right? And that's actually the case. They actually go betting on these boxers. And you see, the funny thing is that mostly the people they go betting, or the people they bet on, the people who have got the numbers, the traction, are the ones end up losing. And Bahubali is a perfect example of it. Mostly it's that case, because you give you those gimmicks, the antics, the whatever. He's
a good trash talker. He knows how to sell a bout.
Can do the very good mind games, but gets into the bout and it's all over.
You
the place.
can tell he has no boxing skill, very limited boxing skill.
Go and watch that video again after Dixon won, right? And see the people after the referee just ended everything. They all entered into the bout. They were angry. And then they had a change of emotions. Then there was this music, started dancing in the bout, in the ring. When the person was suffering, Chris makes a point about the NSA boss. I've listened to him on different platforms, and I think in a way he got himself conflicted with some of the things he said. I'm saying so because that video that was released today by David Donald, who is somebody who's followed the boxing for a very long time, when Aiti Powers was talking, he said something, and we played that on Flash today. He said something about Yam Pofuankra, that he told him that, boxing was not on hold, and that they were just trying to make sure that the reforms will be put in place, they implement it, and that they can go out. That's why we've seen Aiti Powers talking like that.
So Aiti Powers has the blessings of the powers that
it takes me to the point I said early on that as for him, you can't blame him because he's been enabled.
He has been told that
yes, he's been empowered.
It's a free pass. You can go
it's
on
a
and
free
do
pass. That's why he would go and stand in the midst of his guys and say that, look, we are going past whatever the NSA boss has said, and we are holding our bouts. Aiti Powers promotions. It has made whatever recommendations that was put up by the 7-member committee. You can say maybe it's rendered useless.
Have you seen the report? I've seen the report. See, the report was properly done. Like the report was properly done.
No, that's what I'm saying. That people at the NSA are sleeping on the job. They've slept because we paid for that report. Those who sat there, did they sit there for free?
We don't know that for a fact. I don't even know.
At the end of the day, when a committee is constituted by the minister and stuff like that, at least I'm a yeni.
They'll get some reward.
I'm a yeni.
And he said, my final points, Ben.
Jesus Christ.
Again, taking you to the place I went. And I want to link it to the video of Aiti Powers. He should just put himself, right, in the shoes of Bahubali and say that, fine, we understand that you've put in a lot of money to have this happen tomorrow. What if the boxers who will be doing whatever in the bout, a similar thing happens? Or what if it is you or somebody close to you that happens? Because you're not supposed, it's not supposed to happen.
Which topmost boxer is he parading tomorrow?
It is not yes, it is not supposed to happen.
It
is not supposed to happen. Look, I think everybody here has followed. Y'all made a point about Canelo and stuff, and maybe I want to say, if we want to even use our own Isaac Dogbe, in a year, how many times was he fighting?
Professional boxers, they don't fight 3 times a year.
How many?
At most,
you fight twice a year.
Somebody was asking me that he even thought Anthony Joshua was retired.
No,
because
since last year, since he lost to Daniel.
Exactly, and I'm saying that because
you need to wrap up so I can take my first break.
It's coming from an average Ghanaian who wants to understand why he wouldn't see Anthony Joshua fighting over and over.
Now Inouye, he's fought about 3 times already this year. He has another bout planned later in November, but that's in his weight class.
Yeah, and he's probably dominated most of the bouts he's been in. He's probably not been knocked down.
No. Now so you
see, Ben, this we are not supposed to be having this conversation
at all,
because we are supposed to be talking about this in November. That okay, we go through the recommendations and we begin to take that they have done so and so, and that everybody can now go to the Bukom Boxing Arena and go and watch whatever. But we are here now talking about somebody who is lost, and like you said, because the first one was a Nigerian, I think a lot of the details did not come out that much. But this is a Ghanaian. And there is even more to come. I've just seen a news from the minister's handle. I think it's in relation to the committee that was set up initially. I've seen Azuma. I didn't get time to read, but I've seen Azuma Nelson on that. I think it's in relation to Bahubali. All right. Look, we need to heads must roll. People must be called into the room to answer. People must be taken to court.
I say we need a public inquiry on this matter.
As for the promoters who come and tell us that we've invested 1 million into what, we don't care. We don't. Because at this point, we are mourning.
Let me read a message and then take a break. Our good friend Seido Adamu is sending me a message. He says, does the GBA have standard medical protocol?
They don't have
regulations that boxers are required to follow.
They don't have.
Do they have accredited medical facilities they can trust? That they can trust reports from on their boxers. How many boxers have the GBA revoked licenses for failing medicals in the last 10 years? The suspension is important to correct some of these defects and to position the sport on the right path. Nothing lost here in the suspension. The suspension is what should have come as soon as that report landed. Nobody does boxing again. We are sanitizing boxing. It didn't happen. Let's take a break. Let's take a break here on the show. When we come back, I'll take some of your messages and then we'll get into some other stuff. Stay with us here on Sports Panorama. We'll be right back.
City 97.3 Accra.
Are you ready for some
football in action this weekend, I've got some exclusive picks on Betway just for you. Hello and welcome. Bayern Munich is expected to record a win over Werder Bremen in a Bundesliga match today. I also predict an over 1.5 goals when Strasbourg host Marseille in Ligue 1. Chelsea is good for a home win or draw against Brighton and Hove Albion, and over 2.5 goals when Man City host Burnley. I expect Atletico Madrid to pick a win over Rayo Vallecano in La Liga, whilst AC Milan and Napoli are both likely to score in their Serie A game. The booking code for these picks is BW13E393E2. Again, BW13E393E2. Get more rewards with Betway. Log on to betway.com.gh to place your bets. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet the responsible way, not for persons below 18 years. Betway. Get way more.
City 97.3 Accra.
Let me read a few of the messages that are coming in so far. This one here is from Daniel Harrisonado from Hato. Says, Sports Panorama. Sad with the way everything under sports is being handled in Ghana. Mr. Minister, open your eyes wide under that ministry. This one here says, good evening, Ben and team. The funny thing is that Roja in 2019 was a center, you mean Roger Bano, was a center referee for a bout, and he pulled a gun and fired shots when there was a bit of confusion. A country called Ghana. This one here says, typical of the Ghanaian, when tragedy occurs, then you hear all sorts of stories from 100 sources. Has any doctor come out with a postmortem to indicate that this boxer died as a result of a fight after 10 days? Now, because of backlash, the NSA has in a rush stopped the boxing match that has been arranged on Saturday. I don't think this is because of the NSA were supposed to have suspended the license of the people, and nobody here and again, right, nobody here is saying that Bahubali died as a result of that bout. But again, I do not need a genius to come and tell me.
No, but the bout is not supposed to be even happening.
That's the thing.
So that's what you're saying.
If Bahubali was not fighting, and that's the different matter. For the video. Let's move it on. Let me move it on. Kofi Baden says he's listening from Dansoman, Sahara. He says our sports is totally dead. A country called Ghana that has produced about 8 boxing champions. This country is not just about football, but a sports nation, and we don't take it seriously. May Bahubali's soul rest in peace. This one says, good evening, guys. We need EPL weekends commentary back on radio from Koyao. This one's from Moses Kofinoy. Moses Kofinoy says, my piece of advice to all United faithful: do not jubilate over your win against Chelsea's 10 men. You scored Chelsea when you had a numerical advantage. Okay?
It's a joke. We forced them into that numerical disadvantage. Yeah, joke.
More messages. Fifi from Dansoma says, please, what is the name of the promoter? As for the head of the NSA, he is not helping sports in Ghana at all. This one here says, instead of investigating the sale of slot claims, okay, I don't think this is meant for me. I don't think that message is meant for me. This one here is from Alkaline from Tema Community 25. Says, I listened to a media personnel saying they shouldn't hold the fight tomorrow, and I agreed with him until the clarification this evening. Trust politicians at your own risk. If not, all those behind these illegalities must be apprehended before opening investigations into the matter. Such a tragedy. More messages. This one is from Brown from Birmingham in the UK. He says, Ghana is such a reactionary country. We wait for things to happen before we start to do things that should have been done prior. And it's as if laws, rules, and regulations only exist on paper. They don't actually work. See
why I said the people are sleeping at the NSA.
Let me get a few YouTube messages in, and then we will change subjects here real quick. This one here is from Lakadesical. It says, so where is the accountability? Which heads are rolling? This one here also coming through.
Look, in other jurisdiction, the NSA boss should be sacked. He's my boss. He's my friend. No more. Last time, Inke honorable Yapo for Anka. He stopped his car. He acknowledged me. Inke no more. How many my coke? He gave me 200 Ghana cedis. Say, coach, take back coke and go. Me, I'll say it. But in other jurisdiction, he should be sacked. The fact is the
Eugene.
fact. Me too, Sabi.
Eugene says, guys, the level of superstition in Gamashi is on another level. Everything is chofa in that enclave, so don't be surprised. This one here is from Nana Owusu Barnabas. It says CT scan should have been done. I suspect some type of hemorrhage with regards to the vomiting and the bad headache. Yes. This one also says
blood
that
even coming from his nose. Oh, Charlie.
Charlie, so many messages. So you guys keep your messages coming in. 0549-986-996 0549-986-996. Hopefully this will be the beginning of that reform we were promised. Hopefully that recommend, because see, we have a thing where we do very thorough investigations, come out with reports, and then the reports will be left on shelves to collect dust. They will be used to serve Kofi Brokman. They will be used to do all kinds of things, but the actual good they were meant to actually do. So we beg you, somebody, now 2 people have died in 6 months. 2 lives, able-bodied men, dead, gone, never to be seen or heard from again by their family members. Let this be your call to action. You don't die twice, coach. Let this be your call to action. You don't know what promises Bahubali had made to his family. You don't know what he was expected to do for his kinsmen.
He has an 8-year-old daughter.
Oh. Just like that, lost her daddy because of an Achiagbeshi fight.
Go, 8-year-old daughter.
God have mercy on us. Anyway, let me talk about some football. There's action this weekend. Bibiani Gold Stars were getting water donations from Piva. Shout outs to Twisco, because they are back as sponsors on Sports Panorama.
You mean Twisco is back?
Oh, Twisco is back, my brother. Oh, Twisco is back, my brother. Oh,
show we saw.
May I like my Twisco with Chibom?
You see, when I called the guy the other day, the marketing manager.
Yeah.
I said, boss, you know what? Why have you stopped sponsoring the program?
Oh.
If there's any program in Ghana that made Twisco, you can't take it away.
That's why they are back.
He said, coach, we are coming back immediately.
Thank you.
With immediate effect.
Me like this.
My children, they drink Twisco all the time before they go to school.
Quick.
Oh,
I see.
Say last Bernard carry some come job. He forget to. They say for doing for.
He likes his Twisco at work.
Bring up.
Let me talk about football. Let's talk about football real quick. Let's start off with Bibiani Gold Stars. Abeku.
Yeah, man.
Bibiani Gold Stars are off to Algeria. Tally boxing in Sensem.
I hear something about Gold Stars. How they reached Algeria?
No, we go talk about. Why make you
It's out there. We know. It's out there.
Everybody knows. Talk.
They went in batches, different batches. Another batch, and yeah.
No, you see, for save money. So
okay, you will get it. Let's talk about the footballing aspect of it.
No, but why if I start with you?
No, but I'm coming out. Abeku,
Look.
2-0 lost down here, I believe. 2-0.
Yeah.
How do we recover that?
Look, 11 years ago, I covered a game at the Robert Mensah Sports Stadium between Petro Atletico de Luanda and Cape Coast Mysterious Dwarfs in the CAF Confederations Cup.
Hey.
Dwarfs had beaten Petro de Luanda. It was Ricky J. Mensah and a certain guy called Jimmy, something on Jimmy, that got a goal.
Jimmy Quist?
No,
I have to check.
Look, playing in Africa is not easy. Dwarfs got to Angola.
Yep.
Of course, Petro Atletico de Luanda is an Angolan football club. They go back to Angola and the narrative was different. The Dwarfs players had experience when you had compared them then to the Angolans. It did not work because playing in Africa is super difficult. Issue that had transpired in Angola that led to the Ebusia Dwarfs losing 4-0 is a mystery. Because 2-0 cushion here in the country in
Was
Ghana,
woefully inadequate.
and a certain discussion had gone on in Angola. And because the club were not in position to continue that, it is because of this thought thing that is, taking my mind back to the 11 years story.
You mean Gold Stars arriving in Algiers in thoughts?
Charlie, Ben, it's difficult. Your money go finish for rooftop, and you would have to go and negotiate for the other club to pay you off and lose and come home. This thing I'm telling you.
But Mama give them 50,000.
Forget.
No.
Forget. The moment that money hits the account,
If
there are
it-
things that
Things needed to be done. That money was spent before it arrived.
you're owing hotels and all of that. Sometimes the players, you've not paid them. You've some promises be in the first game and those things.
So you are essentially saying that,
I'm saying that.
based on how we approach these games, our chances are bleak.
Yeah, that's a harsh reality. I'm sorry to my very good friend Kusedu. Thank you to Piva for showing up. The support is beautiful.
Shout outs to Piva Tanji.
Thank you.
Piva water.
And what's the offender?
Tanji.
The Tangi. Was the new product being super? They presented it to the Gold Stars people. That was the game energy drink. So it was Piva water, Piva
The game.
beverages,
And then
Piva
the game
Tangi,
The game.
Piva orange.
Wait. You
Then they
say
added the energy drink.
The game.
Energy drink.
Hey,
So
the game,
big
You know
shouts
the game.
to Piva beverages and big shouts to Frank AJ.
Do you know the?
Not Frank AJ Mensah.
Gabby, behave yourself over there.
Frank AJ Mensah, who is the CEO of Piva Beverages. So big shouts to them.
It's my
Nice
good
one.
friend.
Ben, it's an impossible
Task.
for Ghost Stars. JS Kabila is big, is huge. To see the game in the manner which it happened here in the country that led to the sacking of the coach. It means the coach in Waka Sacha now win tea. Hence the result. So he has to move on. It's difficult. I don't think Ghost Stars will make it.
Yeah, talk to me about Kotoko.
Yeah.
No, in fact, Kotoko and Kwara United.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they played out a 7-goal game here.
Yeah.
Some people call it a thriller,
Yeah.
but that game was a comedy of errors. Two teams that looked like they didn't know how to defend or didn't want to defend. I'm not even sure which is which. Can Kotoko?
How about it? I'm Galam say what's your name?
Oh, Abai.
Now where is it?
It's okay. We are doing a sport, so please. Yeah,
Yeah.
please talk to me about Kotoko's Nigeria
Kotoko.
challenge. Can they get a win or can they get a result to see them over the line?
I think so. I think because when you look at things as they are at this point in time, what Kotoko need is to be able to get out a draw. They don't necessarily need to win. Once they get a draw, it will be more than enough. What they can't afford to have is to lose the game, even if it's by a goal to 0. They will get eliminated because of the away goal rule. The away goal rule, yes, it has been scrapped in the UEFA competitions, but in other jurisdictions,
Still holding strong.
it still applies. And so, yes, so having Kwara United score 3 goals away from home, it puts them in a position where they don't necessarily need to score more than 1 goal to be able to qualify. All they need is a clean sheet, and 1 goal will be more than enough for them to qualify, because that will mean that it will be 4-4 on aggregate. And because of the away goal rule, and they haven't scored 3 goals in Ghana, that will put them ahead of Kotoko, and they will qualify. But you look at that first leg, yes, the defending from Kotoko particularly was very terrible, to the extent that Coach Karim Zito noted it in his presser that his defenders, quote unquote, surprised him. They surprised him with their performance. And so I think that's the area of concern and the area of need that they need to address. Once they address that area, I think they should be fine to be able to, even if they don't win, they should be able to get a draw against Kwara United in Nigeria, and then progress to the next round in the CAF Comfort Cup. So for me, I think it's something that is very doable, because you look at the players that they have in their defense, and I've even heard reports that their left fullback Patrick Asiedu might just end up getting replaced. He might just end up getting benched, and so those are some of the things that they really need to work on. Patrick Assedu is good going forward, but defensively, sometimes it's a bit suspect. And Vision FC in their, I think it was last season's penultimate game or the final game of the season, they badly exposed him. They really, really exposed him. And so I think if they can work out or sort out their defensive issues, in their midfield and their forward line, they should be more than enough to be able to get it done in terms of qualifying to the next day. It doesn't necessarily have to be a win. A draw would be more than enough, but they should be able to qualify. If they don't qualify, that would be a huge dent on Kotoko, because at the end of the day, you look at where they built the team to, all that they did in preseason, bar the Gaka top 4, going away to Nigeria, which is more or less not necessarily enemy territories, more or less like a bit of a home away from home. You should be able to get at least a draw against Kwara United.
Yeah, I saw.
And I think Kwara too will not be playing in front of their home fans. They'll be playing at the MKO Abdullah Stadium.
And I saw the level of defending from both Kwara and Kotoko. Jesus.
You look at and especially
the nature of the goals that were scored.
Especially that third goal that Kwara scored. Because at that time, Kotoko were leading 4-2. And Albert Amoah scored the second goal. It was in the 73rd minute. 85th minute, and you could see that kind of goal.
The two teams, the two teams, they have no business in this competition. Both Kwara and Asante Kotoko.
That's what I was going to say.
They have no business in this.
So
finish off from your
At the end of the day, one of them will qualify. As I sit here today, I will not be surprised if Kotoko don't qualify. But I don't think they are good enough to progress. So too is the Nigerians. I don't think they are good enough. But you have two bad nuts coming together, and one will go. Now, if you look at what is ahead of them, that obviously is their last stop. That obviously is their last stop in the competition. I don't see how any of Kotoko, or what is the name of that team?
Kwara United.
I don't see them go past the
group stage.
Is it the Moroccans? Those that are going to be playing up?
You mean the second preliminary stage?
I don't see them.
Walid is still with the team, right?
Yes.
Rugby.
I don't see how any of them go past, especially when Wydad will be coming away first and taking the second leg to Morocco. You'll be beaten and beaten good. Because look, this is what we've been talking about. Our football is bad. I watch Hearts of Folk 11.
You were watching the game today.
I was just looking and said, wow, it's gotten this bad.
Yeah.
The quality of the players, everything is.
Aurora's back in the day used to be better than the current House of Folk team.
Everything is substandard. I watched the game Kotoko played against Kwara, and I was asking myself, what? Is this Kumasi Asante Kotoko? I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
As for Gold Stars, you don't blame them.
Yeah.
They find themselves in a terrain that they've never been before. And the shocking part was the fact that they sacked the coach just after that. Only for the CEO to come back and say that the coach was not sacked because of the result.
So they sacked him because of what?
They say you cannot have
no. It wasn't because of the
two captains in the same. When did he realize you could not have two captains?
Exactly my point.
The timing was wrong.
When did you realize that? That's when when you hear things like this, you ask yourself, why at all should the government of Ghana give these people my money? Why should the government of Ghana give these people our money to better football in this country? Because when they are taking decisions, they take decisions unilaterally. They don't care about anybody. When we sat there some few weeks ago and we told the FA that you've not done anything magical. It is our money, it is my money, it is Nketiah's money, our money that the government of Ghana has given to you and at the Sun production to show this thing. Bring us the detail. The details never happen.
Nope.
For me, I've always maintained my stand on the matter. You cannot give our money to the FA to run football in this country
and not tell us what they are doing.
And not show any concern whatsoever what Kotoko does. For me, I have thrown the challenge, I've petitioned, I'm pleading to the president of the land. Your Excellency, you are a democratic president.
Oh, Charlie.
Democratic.
Whatever what Kotoko is trying to do at the Ghana Football Association is non-democratic. We spend money as a country to set up the normalization committee. They set up a 2-year term of 4 years each. The man Nicodemously has connived with the football people and they've gotten them to extend the tenure by another 4 years, seeking that he will contest again.
It is being contested at CAS.
Yes, and some of us are praying that CAS will have to show. Then go and do that. You won't even finish the thing.
You should offer a burnt offering so that this
For us to evaluate how well. Look,
offer a burnt offering unto the Lord.
you give me 4
So that the
years.
CAS case will be successful.
You give me 4 years. I'll change Ghana football.
Oh, Chale.
I'll change.
You mean change it for the better?
I'll change Ghana football for the better.
Oh, Chale. You mean facelift?
Eyi, Demazi, Eyi.
You make coach speak fancy.
Wow.
I beg what's your best Ghana football? What do you have to say to it?
Never go Messi San.
See, the only problem I have with the Frimpong Manso bit is the timing of the sack.
How do you sack such a
Because
manager?
at the end of the day, yes, it's their private company,
Yes, so
and
don't give them our money.
and they've decided to sack their coach. That's none of my business. But at the end of the day, this is a club that is going to Africa that has been supported with state funds.
So now we care.
We have
have to care.
stakes in it.
Yeah.
And you want to be in a position where the club's chances of qualifying to the next stage are high, and it wouldn't be a situation where we quote unquote wasted our money.
Let him go and play the. Now you said Max Akunutu to say. Max to say me, I won't follow you to where you are going. You go and come.
Yes, per the information that we have, it will come from the appointment of Maswokunu.
Abeko, I need you to comment on the matter. I need you to comment on the matter.
The appointment of
Who
Maswokunu.
need shake us, eh, eh?
My
come
president
after-
give you $50,000. You go and waste the money like that.
It will come after the trip, the second leg against JS Kabylie in Algiers in Algeria. If you wanted to sack him, you should have sacked him a long time ago. Look at what Spurs did with Ange Postecoglou.
Quick.
They wanted to sack him. There were some rumblings in there, clash of heads in there. But at the end
Everybody
of the day,
has moved on.
They waited till the season was done.
Yep.
As soon as they won
Celebrations died down.
The Europa League, they had their open bus ride, enjoyed the moment. 2 days after that, they sacked him. Before the season started, before even pre-season started.
You two captains can not be.
It is clear that whole sacking of Frimpong Manso wasn't directly related to the loss to JS Kabylie in Accra.
You mean things had been brewing?
Rumbling, it had been coming.
I listened to the CEO. He said you cannot have two captains in the same ship. When did you realize that?
You see, so for you to sack him in the midst of your CAF Champions League campaign, then it means that if things were serious. So if things were serious, it didn't just happen overnight.
Frimpong Manso will not allow the thought traveling. So he will question as a CEO. Why are you taking my players?
Are they talking about thought traveling? We have a team that is in Cote d'Ivoire. They've come back.
No, they are there.
No,
Charlie,
they won today, 3-1.
They traveled to Cote d'Ivoire by bus.
Hey!
Which team is
They
that?
Under 17.
Starlet.
Charlie, if you go to Cote d'Ivoire by bus,
No, the regional minister said.
don't do that. I want to hear the response. Please speak.
Oh, the minister said something. So let me
Please talk.
The minister explained.
You know, he's come out to say that when you are moving regions which are closer, or i.e. countries which are closer to us.
The sub regions.
The sub-regions.
Yeah.
There's that
Cote
arrangement.
d'Ivoire is next door. So
Yeah.
We won't take it.
And
If it is the Black
and
Stars
it's
who were
to-
traveling to Cote d'Ivoire, they would have
It's
flown them there. Hey,
He
Abeku,
says
I have
to save. That's the minister
Yeah,
statement.
go,
You do- save what cost?
Togo, what national team? What Angola?
Charlie, see,
You see, we are the same people who are on this
no,
desk
Abeku.
talking about amounts that are
Abeku, it's
overly
true.
spent.
Do you know why?
on
Do you know why?
players.
It is because you are
What is
spending.
this in expenditure?
It is because you are spending all the money on one entity, so there's nothing for everybody
Money
else.
no day.
Say, Emma, Obi, not Sakons. Listen, yeah, listen. No, they are. What are you talking about?
Go there.
Obi, Sakons or your cones arrangement.
Cones collector.
Or carry or the $8,000
Formally.
Now, and then we start to feel home. What the 8,000?
Formally.
Say, you can say. Honorable Kofi Idi Adams Adaroma. Why slash it about 4 times?
And he's the same guy. He's the same guy who's saying that we are overspending.
So we are telling Honorable Kofi.
All I'm saying,
4,000. If we brought down,
in family, that's not even my matter. Abeku is basically trying to say that what is good for the goose is not good for the gander. That one day I won't agree. No, Abeku, hold on. If the Black Stars were traveling, would they have passed them? Don't do that. In fact, the time you drive 17-year-olds, by the time you drive 17-year-olds 12 hours into Cote d'Ivoire, their morale would be dead. And you see, by the time you get down from the Cote, I've traveled by bus to Cote d'Ivoire.
And this is not like any friendly game or is any something.
Your legs will be dead by the time you drop from that bus.
It's a tournament.
Between Elubo, even if you get to the border and you're at Elubo to Abidjan, that's 5 hours. That is 5 hours.
Ben,
see, if I'm a footballer
and travel for 12 hours,
how do they swap you? The players who have been traveling by bus from Wa to come and play ball, are they happy? The fact that they do it doesn't mean they're happy.
These are the same players.
But the national team, but the national team, this is not even the matter of discussion. This is not. Hold on. This is not even a matter of discussion. But this matter, it bothers me. You cannot let people travel 12 hours by road. You can't do that.
Bad roads.
What are you talking about? You can't do that. Nobody can justify this. And we don't need. And you see, and coach, we don't need more than $200,000 to facilitate this. We played 2 Black Stars friendlies. I don't even need anybody to give me a report. We spent more than $2 million on those games.
The Black Stars is a different ball game.
For giving us nothing. They'll be playing and they haven't won an AFCON match in 2 years. Having won an AFCON match in 2 years, they are getting fat per diem. These people have to travel by 12 hours by road. Charlie, what kind of wickedness is this?
So just a bit of
Gabby, there's no context. I don't want to hear any context. What context? What context? Stop
this. Before you clarify, did they go by bus?
I'm not clarifying. I am only adding to. So this is somebody who is close to the minister, right?
By road, yeah.
And he's saying that. No, I can't. Yes, I'm not going to do that. The FA brought the budget. The minister directed, right, that they should take care of some of the items from their sponsorship budget. You know, the FA signed a new sponsorship. Ben, you remember with MTN Ghana? You remember that event?
Yeah, for all national teams.
You and I were there.
That event.
Yes, the Black Starlets are part of that package.
You remember.
So the satellite, the Black Starlets, the Black Princesses, and the Black Queens.
Yeah.
And I think they're under 19. Yes, 5 teams. I covered that story. So he is saying that, and the FA didn't respond, but we need tickets. You get it. So then they have to go by
bus.
So second option, which is the bus.
You see, these are the sort of
things. The first option is what?
These are the sort of things when some of us here.
So what is the
it is extremely difficult to understand these things.
Yes.
How can you tell me this?
The Ghana Football Association use our product to get sponsorship, monetary sponsorship, and the minister don't take charge of those things. So,
but there are other national team coaches who pay them their salaries.
No, but coach,
allowances.
Nobody pays anybody apart from them. Who told you the FA?
It is the FA.
They don't pay them.
I'm telling you, the FA.
Have you seen a contract that said they pay them?
I'm telling you, I'm saying it is the FA.
Hold on.
Apart from the national team, the key one, the Black Stars of Ghana.
But you see, do they have contracts?
They don't have contracts. They
don't even have contracts.
They don't have contracts.
That's not the argument. That's not the argument.
Listen. I'm going to move on to the next topic. The long and short of this matter is that we can all argue about
allow somebody to use
professional athletes should not be driven 12 hours to go and play a tournament. What are we talking about? 12 hours.
My issue is okay. So based on this information that we've had.
Why is 100 million? Yajama FA for this. They should manage it.
What is that? That's the point I wanted to make. The last time,
what are the steps that the FA have taken to ensure that on their return they don't have to also go by bus?
They will come by bus
and ensure that the GFA makes sure that these guys end up getting in a flight and moving from Cote d'Ivoire to Ghana, not by road,
Missy,
but by flight.
A travel by bus 12 hours. Ebedu na una nyina ajin. Missy, Ubedu na una nyina ajin.
Then say bus for 12 hours.
Then say that why
They'll get up and walk small, and then back inside.
Yeah. Then say that why Cote d'Ivoire score with train. So you know.
Anyway, let me
3-0.
Ben, can we quickly talk about the Desmond Affair issue? Just a quick one on.
what am I? What is he go to? What's he go to again?
I just want to say something. Yeah, then that's 23 appointment.
Okay, cool.
You see, they should stop this.
Coach, I beg you. Let me just finish up this one.
Charlie.
I was just I just so in 20 I have a story in front of me, right? From the GFA. That's 2 years ago. They appointed Desmond Affair as the head coach for the Blacks to Satellite.
Our starlets on a road trip.
Yes,
assisted. My uncle's name there.
Yes, assisted by our own Neil Date Lamte.
Yeah, that's my uncle. If I put respect.
So in the space of 2 years, and Ben, listen to this carefully.
I agree.
I beg, why are you interrupting the young man?
I'm talking about. Don't interrupt me. I'm talking about Desmond Affair.
Okay.
And the role at the Ghana Football Association in the director of coaching of education, right?
Yeah.
These two roles, right, with the Satellite and then the Starlets, and maybe the Black Meteors.
Yeah.
Do you know that in the space of 4 years, we've seen a merry go round of Desmond Affair, Joseph Minta, Prosper Natelgum.
Yeah.
That's professional.
And who again?
The
From Paul Manso, even from Paul Manso is
and
part.
even the former
Neil Date Lamte.
technical director for the Ghana Football Association, the German.
Yes.
I've forgotten his name.
And you see, I find this very worrying because I think that
Bernard Lepe.
we are struggling to differentiate what is professional football and what is developmental football with what we are doing. When you talk about the director of coaching of education, we've had about 3 people
In how many years?
in 3 years or 4 years manning that role.
No direction, no focus.
Manning that role. And do you know what this means for our junior teams? When you watch Ogum coaching the Black Starlets,
It's different.
see, he's come with a different philosophy. But you didn't watch that game. They were doing proper Hansi Flick. High line. We are not saying the high line is no good, though. But the players, they're not the press, they are just there. And the Ivorians, they split the pass. Hey, see, that is Ogum's philosophy. This same Starlet has worked under Lai Kinson, right? He stepped down. Frimpong Manson has coached that place before. And now we have who? Ogum. Now Desmond Affair was with the Satellite. Desmond Affair is with Black Stars assistant coach. Now Desmond Affair is U23.
Desmond Affair is tired. I'm tired on his behalf.
You see how many times
I'm tired on Desmond Affair's behalf.
What's this thing we are doing with our football?
Like Desmond can't even be. He can't even be anywhere for like a good period to even stabilize.
It's worrying.
I think that's worrying. I think
It's very worrying.
It's worrying.
Because in 2 years,
Consistency is missing.
Or smart to the extent, sir. He should look in the face of Kotoko.
He can't do it.
Can you keep me here?
Oh,
I need to be focused.
he can't do it.
How can you be?
because coach,
It is either you take the job or you go.
Look at that.
in 2 years,
That's what you're gonna do.
listen, if we have stuck with Desmond Affair, this appointment was in 2 years ago. So 2 years will be what? 2023
Yeah.
and 2025.
Yeah.
So maybe he's stuck with or he's coached the team for 6 years.
It's a progression.
Or maybe 8 years,
Yeah.
because that's where we are developing
It has our
what will be the makeup of the Black Stars. And then maybe you say after 6 or 7 or 8 years,
Mid-year.
your KPIs are marking, you've not been able to take.
Mid-year.
But in the space of 4 years,
We saw him at under 20.
all of these coaches
I
have
remember,
different styles.
we saw Desmond at under 20 in on Africa continent. When we needed him to step up and coach,
He was hiding.
He
was hiding.
He's my friend. He
was hugging his knees. He was hugging his knees and on the bench. He was doing like Javinho doing the penalty shootout. He couldn't watch. He was hiding.
He was hiding. We took Ama Mahama. One as I said, Desmond, don't take Ama Mahama. He doesn't meet the requirement to play at the under 20 level. He got himself influenced. How many times have I not started to say he's not a better fit for Otoado? So when we go to the World Cup and we are playing against top coaches, these are the people who will be sitting on our bench and then they'll be trying to tactically undo or think I beg the more crop.
Media. Let me. I'm going back to the 12-hour road trip. I'm telling the people who hear it. Listen, no, I'm not letting it go. These are some of these are Stone Age practices. No, but you shouldn't be doing this.
It be serious because if you think about it, you are dealing with youngins or like young.
Gabi, I said I have gone to Cote d'Ivoire by road before.
I know what you're saying, yeah.
For 4 hours. Once you get to the border, for close to 4 hours, you are driving through a rainforest.
I agree.
Do you understand? Listen.
Well, you know they took more than 12 hours to get
there. And that's even the complete journey.
Yes.
When you get to the border, you have gotten to the border, now you can enter Cote d'Ivoire. It will take you another 4 hours to get to Abidjan. Do you know what kind of journey? That is literally from Accra to Kumasi. That is that kind of journey. Like even that journey, by the time you arrive there, you will be tired. What I'm saying is that our Black Stars generates enough money to go around. Nobody can tell me that this is not true. See, Ket can't tell me that they don't have. They can't tell me that they don't have $200,000 to sponsor our junior teams. Nobody should be supporting this thing. What are you talking about?
Don't leave the Black Stars sponsorship money to the GFA to manage.
Like some of these things are just like boiling, like they're just hurting me now because
they're taking our commodity to make money on our behalf.
It's like when it's Black Stars time, we'll rent luxury cars, we'll get business class, we'll do all the nice things. Then all of a sudden, when the Black Stars come and disappoint and play their rubbish football and go, there's no money left for anybody else. How can you tell me that? How can you tell us that?
How?
You can't tell us that there's no. I'm telling you again, you don't need more than $200,000 to fly those people to Cote d'Ivoire if you had made proper pre-arrangement. You don't need that kind of money.
The Black Stars will be traveling to Morocco,
Central African Republic.
27 officials. They all join the play free. Free.
Thank you. Per diem. Honorable Kofi Adams. Let me just say this. Honorable Kofi Adams. If the GFA will not do what is right for the national team, I beg you have the locus, you have the gravitas, you have the power to be able to do or help some of these teams do the right thing. Please let them do it.
We talk about sports fund. Why should you leave the Black Star sponsorship money to the FFP?
Charlie, let's talk about Premier League.
Money should go into the sports fund.
Come and tell us that.
And then use it on.
Come and tell us that you can spend $2 million on one team, or then you don't have any money for the other teams left. Meanwhile, that's the developmental level. By the time they'll get to the senior stage, their morale is dead. Like, what is that? Road trip 12 hours. Now you're in Nam. Charlie, we need to be serious in this country. Let's talk about the Premier League and let's talk about match week 6. But before we get into match week 6, Charlie, controversy galore for match week 5. Hey, Arsenal, Chelsea. Oh my God. Let's start off from the doorsteps of Arsenal Football Club. Now, this week, as far as the Premier League is concerned, if you look at the fixture table, let me read out the fixtures to you. So there's Brentford taking on United, there's Chelsea versus Brighton, Palace versus Liverpool, Leeds versus Bournemouth, Man City versus Burnley, Forest versus Sunderland, Spurs versus Wolves. Those are the games for Saturday. And then when you go on to Sunday, you have Newcastle Arsenal, huge game, Villa Fulham. Also, those are the two games. And then there's Everton West Ham on Monday. Now, let me start with you, coach, on an Arsenal note. So they have Newcastle at St. James's. Tough matchup, tough game. The debate that came out of the 1-1 Arsenal-Manchester City is twofold. Some Arsenal fans, or a section of Arsenal fans and football fans in general, believe that Arteta literally set his team up to be overly cautious. In fact, he set his team up not to lose instead of trying to go for a win against a team he had beaten twice at home in the last 2 games. Some too say that, well, based on Manchester City being who they are, Arteta was simply erring on the side of caution and was making sure that he would not lose all points but instead get one. Arteta himself has said that after the Man City game,
get calls, man.
Phones are calling.
They keep coming.
They keep coming. He says CEOs, coaches, you yourself called him and congratulated him.
And he had delivered a masterclass.
That 1-1 was absolute class. Where do you situate yourself in this Arsenal argument?
Ateta,
and what does it bode for him going into Newcastle?
Maleo.
You mean Ateta is a liar?
Oyokushi.
Oyokushini. Oh, why you saying that?
Even when they went to Anfield, like you remember, we did the game on the Football Republic, and I said that I disagree with his midfield combo. I said he was the. If after 6 seasons you've built this team in your image, we are still in the.
He says he's in phase 5.
After when they went to Liverpool, I think that was their third game.
What is it? Does he think it's Marvel Cinema?
That was
or what?
That was the third game. Liverpool had played 2-1-2. Arsenal had played 2-1-2. Going to Anfield. Clearly, whoever wins that will not determine who wins the title.
Nope.
Even after game number 3, 6-1 each. If you win, you open the 3. Liverpool win 3 points gap. Ateta went there, overtly cautious. We watched the game. We saw how toothless they were. But the moment they considered that splendid free kick from Soboslai, what did he do? He brought on Odegaard. He brought on Eze. And we saw how the game just completely changed, isn't it? So I was asking myself, so you could have done this. Rather, you put yourself in the position to chase the game before you saw what you could have done. Against Man City. At home. But if you cannot be bold enough and beat this Man City
at home,
well, at the end, again will you go and who were those calling him? I called him. He refused to pick my call because I would have told him in his face
that he's a coward.
He's a coward of a coach.
Oh,
look, the 2 Arsenal faithful, they are not happy with him at all.
At all, they were happy.
What?
Because
Man City.
This Man City team is there for the take.
Look,
you have to beat them.
I've said it.
Bereft of confidence.
They beat United 3-0, but we watched the game here. It came down to individual error, and this Arsenal team is not that error prone when it comes to their. They are a collective unit of players who understands the role within the system. Everybody. So I look at it. But how can you be playing against Man City? Then there's Zubimendi, there's Declan Rice, and there's Mourinho. What are you doing? What at all? What sort of coaching was that?
Oh God!
And then you allow this very porous Man City team. Look at their defenders; they can't run. You bench. Look at Jokeres.
Ateta said his phone was blowing up.
Jokeres had no service whatsoever. You bought a number 9. He started the season very brightly. We saw the goal he scored. Jokeres, take it or leave it, has proven that once he gets the service, he puts them away.
And I think if I've watched him, he's having to work harder than he would typically have.
Exactly, and it's all is due to Ateta. You feed Eze, and now we all saw the game when it became clear that now he was. Look at the substitution when Eze and Co came into the game just changed like that. We all saw that. And so what even the ordinary Arsenal fan could see, Ateta Okonani.
Ateta says he had their best interest at heart.
Okay, I have said, I have tipped them to win the league. But if this is the way he's going to coach there, they should forget.
I think Liverpool to win the league because Ateta's all on the handbrake.
You said it. Look, it's now 5-point gap.
Yep, already.
They are the only team in my view to challenge Liverpool. Liverpool are playing Crystal Palace tomorrow.
Tricky.
If they can get that win, it makes it 8.
And
Arsenal going to the St. James's. No more.
It doesn't get tricky. In fact,
it is a game they can easily lose.
In fact, let me check Newcastle's record. I think Liverpool might be one of the few teams to have actually scored against Newcastle.
Yes. And Arsenal at St. James's can simply lose the game. Yep. I'm not saying that. I will not be shocked if they lose the game. Look, Ateta will have to improve. Unless the people at Arsenal are very satisfied that he gets them Champions League football every season. Hey, you remember the last time Arsenal won the league? It's over 20 years.
So look at this, right? So this season, Newcastle conceded 2 goals against Liverpool, drew goalless against Leeds, beat Wolves by 1-0, drew goalless against AFC Bournemouth. So basically, Newcastle have only conceded Premier League goals to Liverpool.
That's it.
3 goals. And they've not considered any other goal again this season.
And they are a better defensive unit than Manchester City.
Yep.
So if you are playing against a weaker defensive unit, you are playing rugby players who are not, they don't have flexible waist, they can't turn. Against Newcastle, are you going to unleash Ezenko? He better look. He will have to do that.
Ben, can I have a bite on this?
Please, quick bite on this.
You know, we were in the studio. We're doing the Republic of Football, right?
Yeah.
When I saw the lineup, okay, and I'll take you back to a point I made when we were doing our Premier League predictions. I said something that this season, Arsenal's struggles or Gyökeres' struggles this season will be Arteta overthinking. Yeah, and I think he showed in that game against Manchester City. City is coming with Kuchanov and O'Reilly.
Ateta, I've been a big fan, but right now he's
what is best place to be playing? The heat map I saw at Palace, he was operating at where Ateta played in when he came on against Arsenal. Look at where he stood and gave the pass.
Yep.
If you put your strong men, you started them early on in the game, having Eze play behind Gyökeres. Easy. And the other thing is that, okay, let's say that Arteta went with, he did go with Mikel Merino and Declan Rice and Zubimendi. Who have you got on your wings? If the plan is to be hitting City on a break, who have you got on your wings? Trossard, bro, and Noni Madueke. Then why not have somebody who's got immense pace in Martinelli and maybe Eze or something like that, so that if the plan is to allow City have a large chunk of the ball, you're hitting on the break, and then you still go with Trossard and Madueke. Charlie, Arteta is overthinking. You see, and finally, in Arteta's 5 or 6 seasons he spent at Arsenal, he's actually bought more DMs and more defenders than attackers. When he was building his Arsenal team, he gave everybody a sense that he's more focused.
Do you know why?
On protecting the back than attacking.
Do you know what Arteta is doing disappoints me even more? Since Arteta stepped foot at Arsenal, in fact, in his first season, he spent his entire first season establishing Arsenal as a defensive powerhouse. And Arsenal have easily been the best defense in England since Arteta.
Yeah.
In fact, they've been the best defense in England since he stepped foot at
They are
Arsenal.
always finishing the season with less goals conceded.
They are the best defense in England by far. So already your team's ID is defense. Now you go ahead and spend almost 70 million on a creator just to put him on the bench in just about your biggest game of the season. I mean, why do you do this to yourself?
You should go and listen to the Arsenal fans.
And he said that he was getting calls from the powers that be, so we are talking too much. Me, I've been a big Mikel Arteta fan, but the things he's doing, I always say that sometimes certain coaches are meant to rebuild you, get you to a certain standard point.
Build a foundation, build a culture.
They need to go.
They need to go. Then
you need to get somebody else
to continue
to take you to the next level.
Icing on the cake.
I really don't think Arteta is the guy for Arsenal. And before they might realize it will be too late. But the thing is that we are on different parallels with the Arsenal board. I have a feeling that the Arsenal board, they are happy with Arteta.
What he's doing.
And that's why he's moving the way he's moving. You see, a team that missed out on the Champions League multiple times is suddenly a regular in the Champions League. And you and I know that Champions League revenue is very juicy.
Yeah.
Champions League revenue really props your team up. So I always say that there's a big disconnect between the upper boardroom of Arsenal and their fan base. But you see, what they don't know is that football fans, we don't care about IPOs and stocks and dividends and profit. We don't care. Those things, they don't matter to us.
What is there to show at the end of the season?
We offer you our emotions, offer us wins and trophies, and in the end, your stocks and your IPOs and your whatever it is you are worrying about, they only are a material thing because we pay money to watch your games. If we say we will stop watching your games, all those things will not even be relevant any longer. Why won't you give the fans what they want? Anyway, let's talk about Chelsea. Let me move on to you on this one. Enzo Maresca, I was mentioning his issues last week. This week, a lot of rumors have been swirling in the press as to what is substance and what is hot air. We are not even sure yet. But what is certain is that his team struggled against Man United after they went down by a man, and he did the most bizarre thing ever. I have never seen in my life a manager make 3 substitutions in the first half in under 20 minutes. Me who be that?
For me, I understand why he did it.
No, he panicked.
No, he didn't panic.
He panicked.
He didn't panic.
Yeah.
Look, okay,
please,
so your goalkeeper
personalize that for me.
So he's under pressure because at the end of the day, he's played 3 games in all competitions without a win. Going into that game against Brighton and Hove Albion, which piles on more pressure on him.
Against Man United, you mean?
No, against Brighton and Hove Albion this weekend.
Okay.
So they drew with Brentford in the league. That last minute Cavallo goal.
Struggle game.
Yes. Then they lost to Bayern Munich in the Champions League.
Heavy.
Then they lost to Man United. So 3 games without a win, and they are going to play against a tricky side in Brighton and Hove Albion at Stamford Bridge tomorrow. But I understand why he made those changes against Man United. Those 3 straight changes, because first things first, your goalkeeper got sent off, so you need to pull one of your outfield players.
Fair.
To as a replacement for the guy who got sent off. Okay, that's one. Cole Palmer is dealing with a groin injury, and because of the extent of the groin injury, Cole Palmer has been ruled out for 2 to 3 weeks. So he will feature tomorrow. And he said in his presser that they had been managing that groin injury. So in that sense, if you go down by a man and you are chasing the game down by a man, what's the point in putting your best player, your best playmaker in harm's way by having him run around and more or less overly stretching himself and overly burdening himself to the point that he can aggravate the injury? So you need to take him off.
And so he took Palmer off.
And so he took him off.
And then you take Esval and Pedro Neto 2 off.
In fact, that starting lineup was rubbish to begin with.
To start
when
with,
he started with 3 left-footed attacking midfielders. Complete nonsense. So that's that.
But at the end of the day, once you take off Cole Palmer, you take off another player, then you have Esval and Pedro Neto also taking off. At the end of the day, Pedro Neto, what does he give you defensively? He doesn't give you much defensively. Esval, what does he give you defensively? He doesn't give you much defensively. So you need to bring in players into a situation where you can avoid getting run over and suffering an embarrassing loss. If you keep Neto and Esval on the pitch, how do they help your case? Defensively, they don't help you.
Can I talk?
Fair point.
I think.
Let me make his point.
I agree with Nketiah, I agree with you, but I think the substitution was too early.
20 minutes.
He should have after the red card.
4 minutes, your goalkeeper got sent off.
4 minutes, your goalkeeper got sent off.
Yeah, Ateta is not the first person who's he's not the first person who's played sent off in less than 5 minutes.
The change to replace the goalkeeper, there was nothing he could do about it. But the other 2 changes, if I was the manager, I would have allowed it to go for them. Listen, I would see what will happen. No, as a coach, then you shouldn't have come inside at all.
That's what I'm saying. If you've taken Cole Palmer off, what of Esval and?
I'm giving you the explanation.
That was too early. No, wait.
That's what coach is saying.
But at the time it was still 0-0. So you wait and see whether if you were to. But we saw Pedro Neto in the World Club Championship. Track the most attacking right full back in world football as we speak.
Hakimi.
That was 11-11.
Oh no, you wait.
Think about it.
Yeah, but nothing about 5 minutes. Red card about. What's his goalkeeper? They say, I'm
telling you.
After the changes, what time did Man United score?
He panicked.
So he should have just waited because
it took some time.
It took some time before Man United scored the first goal. What he needed to do was to allow it to roll for some 10 minutes and see. Then, if tactically he cannot get the message across, then he can affect.
The irony is that when United also picked up a red card, that is when he realized he had goofed. Because now he had no attacking outlets. So we were clipped, and then he was restless.
He was. I don't know whether Casemiro decided to do him a favor.
That was very stupid.
Casemiro is also another.
Yes, it's because that was a game. If Casemiro had not done that,
like 4-0,
4-5-0, then I come match
quick.
And let me just say this:
it was just like the
move. Most of the Chelsea supporters were saying that they didn't hear from, they didn't see. When Man United beat Chelsea, it's a normal thing, no?
You mean normal level?
I am normal.
In fact, like I told them before, Chelsea had not won in 12 trips to Old Trafford.
So I don't see.
It's not something that you.
It's a normal thing. No.
You mean
normal.
regular day in their life?
That is it.
Oh, Charlie.
So it's normal.
You mean they shouldn't call you over certain things?
No, I don't see it as anything to, because it's something I'm used to. You see, when even the Champions League was taken to their bedroom, we played there. We got to say, look, this is your bedroom. John Terry, go and score and take. He went and he patripoto. And then we said, okay, you don't want it.
We'll take it out.
So it is a normal thing. It's normal. But what I'm saying is that Maresca should calm down under such situation. But tomorrow it's a very tricky game against Brighton.
Yeah.
But
Brighton
I expect them.
They dropped points last week.
The coach is now complaining about Carlos Nkwamo Baleba. Sell him to his mother club in January. Sell him.
Where his mother club is? Anyway,
but just a quick one on the Liverpool. Look, Ekitike messed up big time. Look at that simple tap in goal. And then you go ahead and you take off your jersey. It looks like you scored some screamer.
Gen Z footballers,
that was lack of proper awareness.
Carabao Cup against Southampton.
He said he won't get time for in snap. You see,
it's all part of it. The social media things, no.
You know, see.
So he took off his jersey. He took off his jersey when you had already been yellow carded for kicking the ball away. That was the first straw.
Anyhow,
that was the first strike.
I mean, who scores against Southampton and goes to remove their shirt and shows to the crowd? Southampton.
A tapping goal.
Oh, guy.
The thing is,
right now, just a
did you see Jeremy Frimpong?
He was like, why do you do that, boss?
I want to say something in Chi. You know that in Chi say, guy, no way.
I say, about the how?
He was like, guy, why? Don't you know that you're already on the yellow card? Why would you do such a thing?
That was so bizarre.
And look, now, he's lost more or less to an extent. He's lost trust in him.
There's that.
He's lost and lost trust in him. Especially when Alexander Isak is coming in form, he's already scored a goal.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say lost trust. I'll just say he'll just have the coach looking at him sideways.
I'll say that was a silly red card. Stupid in every sense. It's just stupid in every sense.
Slots has shown that he's very ruthless. If we want to talk about the Keke situation, you see the way he handled it. Charlie, guy no go give you chance, make you can't misbehave. Look.
He's earning big money.
Let's
wrap it up.
I look at what he did.
We'll talk about the business Olympics.
Yes, let's wrap it up.
And I find it very funny because especially when you've brought in a Premier League record signing and somebody who ended the season with 27 goals in all competitions for Newcastle, and somebody who in fact was considered the leading striker for Liverpool in Isak.
His self-awareness is low.
But because of Newcastle's shenanigans and stuff, it dragged, and you've had the opportunity to start. And then you score against one of the teams that everybody has tipped that will go back to the championship. Then you go and take your jersey off. Why be Messi? Messi did it against Madrid.
They are relegated to the championship.
That's what I'm saying. Messi did against Real Madrid
in the most
against their biggest rival.
Derby.
Trust me, right now
it was 2-2.
Yes, right now in the pecking order, even Cody Gakpo will be ahead of Ekitike because of this nonsense.
That guy is another. Cody Gakpo. You let me finish.
Yeah, shouts to CBO.
Business Olympics tomorrow, Eden Heights Sports Complex. That's where all roads lead to. 8 a.m. Shiny Brother 1 and Shiny Brother 2. What's going on?
See Steph Curry. Steph Curry in the Atetes will be there.
Shiny Brother
Eketikes will be there. You know, the Gen Z footballers will be there. I bet the players will be there. The old school
those of you who live at Weja and its environment, if you don't, just go and watch. Compare with this one here.
Ben, you know what is interesting now?
Enjoy the
this edition.
Eden Heights.
What is interesting? Tell me.
The event, right, is coupled with wellness and nutrition health screening.
Thank you.
You see, you the go office, you the chop, you know the get time, watch it so cool, you go sit laughing back. Like Entire, you go reach out entire.
Yeah.
That be the space for you. Just can't check your vitals.
Yes, sir.
And also it involves mental checks.
You know what's what we like the aerobic session. Charlie, you go see there stretching
on there and swimming on there. There is this running promo of the program.
Yeah, the line
you see the line phone race when the lady Charlie, that is heaven. That is heaven.
Behave yourself, Lively.
We are promoting
let me just
Eden Heights.
Let me just put out the disciplines that would be featuring. So we have 7-a-side football,
Nice one.
volleyball, men and women, basketball, men only, lime and spoon, coach's favorite discipline,
Yes.
men and women, arm wrestling.
Specify line and spoon, the one that the women will do.
Okay.
I'm not interested in line and spoon and
The
men.
man, okay.
I want line and spoon. Can't pay. What is there to watch? There's nothing to watch.
They will be holding the thing down.
The man which I don't want the popular from now. What's the man? Yes,
It is synchronized.
It's okay. Let me continue. There's long tennis, men and women, sack race, men and coach. You know, like the sack race.
no, with the line and spoon.
Okay. There's tug of war, men and women. There's draught, chess, Scrabble, swimming, men and women, and the biggest one, the CEO's challenge. That's where you see the top shotters.
Thank you.
Trying to kick the ball into the net.
Thank you.
You can't miss yours.
Today we have. Let's do quick shout outs. We need to
I
go.
beg.
Yeah.
Make my shout out. Yeah, I want you to do this. Give me. You see, there's this oldies competition, football competition that goes on.
Yeah.
Including Adabraka, Dansoman, Osu, Asalom, down everything. Yeah, these are the permutations for this weekend. Please announce it for me. The Renford Zone 2 Oldies football competition.
Renford Oldies League 2024-2025 season appointment. Zone B, Dansoman Tony Oldies versus La Emuasi. That's Dansoman Tony Park, 28 September, Sunday.
That's right.
Scarp Rangers versus La All Stars, ATTC Park.
Proper footballers, so former footballers.
La All Stars, ATTC Park, 28 September, Sunday. Osu Tenashi versus Rangoon Oldies.
Yes.
That's Osu Akweje Park. That's on Saturday, 27th September. And Adabraka / Asalam Down versus Accra East Oldies. That's at the La Magdan Park on 27th
What time?
September.
Are times there?
No, they are
Yeah,
not
so
the times. So
look,
we start in the morning.
if you have the time, just pass by and
Sure.
watch.
Nice one.
Straight up.
Shiny brother one.
Yeah, shout out to all the companies who will be making their way to the
Nice
Eden
one.
Heights. We're dealing with over 60 companies.
Yeah.
Wow.
To usurp GCB, who've won the title 7-8 times.
I beg.
Can they do it again?
If the lime and spoon race the camp start, make you fax me.
Yeah.
I go run the
fax.
And then a quick one to my two good buddies, Dominic Guccimen and Daniel Payday.
Yeah,
Nice
big
one.
shouts to all the sponsors of the 2025 City Business Olympics, Side Hustle, UMB Bank. Yeah, big shouts to you guys.
Shout
And all
outs
the-
to-
and all the supporting.
My last one is on Galamsey.
Coach, I have to go.
Charlie.
Time is spent.
That I'm saying,
Shout outs to
number
Betway. Shout outs to Twisco for holding this show down. I'm Benjamin Nkesi. You had Coach Christopher Nimbley, Yaya Jamie Tabenara Beko Otri, and Gabi Offer. That's our show for tonight. The Republic of Football will come your way tomorrow at 2 p.m.